joining me today for this short session focusing on knees. This is perfect for you if you have a knee aches, pains, if you avoid climbing stairs, and therefore you choose the easy option. If you avoid squats, lunges, anything that involves having to use your knees, well then this is the perfect place for you to be. You have to be able to use your knee and it has to go through full range of motion to keep your knees healthy. So please work at a range of motion that does not cause you pain. If there's a little bit of discomfort, then that's okay. But if you're feeling pain, you need to reduce your range of motion and work at a level that feels better to you. What you need is a chair. I'm just going to use my reformer box, but please grab a chair, and you're also going to need a resistance band. Okay, so we're going to do a couple of things today together, and first is a squat. Now feel free to have your chair behind you. Really, this is just to test how your squats feel, how low you can go, and what's getting in your way, because it may very well be your knees. And a squat requires a good relationship between your ankle joint, your knee joint, and your hip joints. So are you able to organize all of those joints in a neat way for you to be able to do a healthy squat? So you're going to have slightly turned out feet. You're going to have your feet hip distance apart. Your chair is right behind you, and you're going to tap the chair and get up. And if your chair just feels a little bit too low, maybe it's too high even, that's okay. But then you don't need to go all the way down to the chair. I don't want you to sit down. I just want you to notice how your knees feel and get back up. Do they click? Do they ache? Are you having trouble here? Getting down to the chair and standing up. We're just going to do a couple more. And once we've done some of the knee exercises, you're going to come back to your squats and see how they feel. Because squats are a brilliant exercise for strengthening your legs and of course keeping your knees healthy, but they're not the only thing we should be doing. Okay, so next exercise is called a knee circle. You're going to take a step forwards with your right leg, and you're kind of stepping out to the side a little bit. Now this is called a knee circle. It's a motor control drill and requires you to be accurate. So you're going to have two straight feet. Your front knee bends as much as you can, and your torso stays long, lengthening your spine, shoulders stay over your hips. Your foot does not leave the ground, but you're going to feel the weight change between the little toe side and the big toe side. Now you're going to imagine there is a circle in front of your knee, and you're going to move your hip and your knee and your foot to the outside of the circle. You're going to come as far forwards to the front of the circle as you can, going to the inside of the circle before you straighten your leg and lock your knee. Your back leg stays straight. Go to the outside of the circle, to the front of the circle, to the inside of the circle, and straighten your leg. You will not be able to do this unless your hip and your foot are also getting involved. So you want to try and make as big a circle as you can, bearing in mind pain or discomfort levels. And I'm just going to face front onto the camera. Same leg, we're not switching anything. Outside, inside, straighten. Go slow, be as accurate as you can, and keep coming back to these knee circles for your knees whenever you need to. Good. Outside, you should feel the weight of your foot change. To the little toe side, we're going to do one more this way. Then to middle of your foot. Now we're at the inside of your foot, so you should feel your arch flatten at that point. We're going to reverse the circle. So you're going to go to the inside of the circle. Then to the front of the circle. At that point, you're trying to bring your knee forwards, outside of the circle, and come up. This shouldn't necessarily feel easy. You should feel your foot. You should feel your hip. And you should feel your leg muscle switching on when you've locked your knee out at that straight point. Inside, outside, and come up. We want your torso to be quiet. Don't really want any other unwanted movement, so that we focus the attention on the motor control of your knee, your hip, your foot. One more time. So we're going slow and we're trying to be accurate, coordinated, controlled. You're going to switch legs when you're ready. So take that step forwards at about a 45-degree angle. So you've got to step out to the side a little bit. Your back leg is straight. And then you start with a bent knee and you want to feel like you are upright, shoulders over pelvis. Okay, so let's go outside of the circle, inside of the circle, straighten. Feel your hip rotating outwards and then rotating inwards and lock your knee. When you're going outwards, you're on the little toe side of your foot, but don't let the big toe side come off the floor. Here, your arch is flattened when you're at the inside of the circle. One more this way, and then we're going to change direction. Go to the inside, to the outside, and come up. You're also trying to bring as much of your body weight forwards as you can so that you load your knee. There's nothing wrong with your knee coming forwards in front of your toes, as long as it's not painful. So keep your range in a controlled way for you. Okay, cool. So we're done with our knee circles. Have a seat now, and we're going to do something called a tibial rotation. So you're going to sit on your chair. Let me come closer. Okay, cool. So you're going to lift one foot off the floor and hold your knee. Okay, so we can all go right side together. Now you're going to, without your knee moving, which is why you're holding it, rotate your shin bones. You've got two of them, your tibia and your fibula, outward and inward. Your knee and your thigh doesn't move. So you should feel your shin bone and therefore your foot move inwards and outwards and inwards. It's called a hanging tibial rotation. Now, it might not feel like much is happening. You've got to make sure that you're almost carrying the weight of your leg, by the way, so that you don't feel like you're using your hip to do this. Your hip should definitely not be working right now. We are moving the lower limb. And if your shin bone doesn't articulate well around your knee joints, that could be causing you some problems. So this is another motor control drill. And even though it might feel like it's doing very much, you might actually be finding it quite challenging because you might realize that your shin bone is not moving. So you could use your other hand and help your shin bone rotate. Literally move your shin bone around inwards to the inside of your body and to the outside of your body. Okay? Let's try the other side, which might be better, by the way. If you have one dodgy knee and one good knee, you might realize this is not so bad on your good knee. So you're doing the same thing. Don't just make sure it's not just your foot moving, by the way. You want to feel like your shin bone is moving outside, inside, which takes motor control. So if you're struggling with this, it's going to probably take a bit more practice until you rebuild that proprioceptive map in your brain, which tells your body that this movement is a safe thing for you to do. It shouldn't be causing any pain or discomfort. You keep the knee quiet. And if your shin bone is not moving and it just feels like your foot, take your other hand and help it move. Literally twist your calf, your shin bone, whatever you feel like is moving, twist it to the outside, twist it to the inside so that you start to feel some movement, because sometimes some sensory feedback is super helpful. Okay, and then we're going to stay sitting and we're going to go into a tibial nerve glide. Okay, actually I'm just going to turn side on. So you're going to stay sitting on your chair and come closer to the edge of the chair, and you're going to stretch let's go left leg. You're going to stretch your left leg out in front of you. You need to be accurate with this. Toes, pull them back towards you. Then you're going to flex your foot. At this point, you lock your knee and lengthen up. You're only going to move your foot, your ankle, to the left. So you turn your foot out and then go to your hip joints and move your leg inwards. Rotate it inwards. It's a small movement, but keep everything else that we set up in place. From that lengthened spine, you're going to hinge forwards. And you're going to feel a sensation, a nerve sensation, which you need to keep a 3 out of 10 intensity level. That's for you to decipher what 3 out of 10 means to you. Then you're going to go to your knee and you're going to bend it a bit and then straighten it. and really straighten it. You need to open the back of the knee and drive your heel forwards. Nice and slow. Keep that spine nice and long. Keep it, like I said, a 3 out of 10 intensity, but if you can handle a bit more, or if you're not feeling enough of a stretch, you need to hinge forwards more. Your back is flat, your head is on top of your tailbone, so that means you're at a diagonal line. Your back should be straight. Knee bend, straighten. Should feel a big stretch. It might feel a bit hamstringy as well, but we're using the knee as the driver for this nerve glide. Bend it, straighten it, and then just relax. Okay, you're going to do the same thing, but we're switching legs. So stretch your right leg out in front of you. First, toes pull back to you. Then you flex your foot. Then you turn your foot outwards. It's just your ankle that moves to the right, not your whole leg, because we need to go to the hip, and your hip needs to internally rotate. So turn that hip inwards. Then you lengthen up and hinge forwards with a flat back until you hit that 3 out of 10 tingling, nerving sensation. Go to your knee, bend it. You should feel the tension go off and straighten it. Tension back on. I feel the tingling in my foot. Maybe you do as well. Probably the back of the leg. Remember that if you can handle a bit more, if you're not feeling enough of a stretch, you will need to hinge forwards more. Focus on getting your knee straight. You bend it and then really straighten it. Keep everything else set up as we started. And one more. Okay, cool. Okay, relax. So come up for a moment and just go back to your squats. You can use the chair or not. You can ignore your chair if you want to. So organize your feet, slightly turned out, legs about hip distance apart, and retest your squat. Oh, that feels lovely. Is it smoother? Do your knees feel a little less achy? Maybe we haven't quite hit the spot yet, and maybe you need more practice with this. So please do come back to this video and repeat it. Okay, cool. So hopefully your squats have felt a little better. Move your chairs out the way, and can you grab your resistance band? Now you're going to place your band around the back of your knees. It's for great feedback, and come onto all fours. Okay, so you want this band to be quite tight. So you're going to have to secure it under your hands. Bring your knees a little closer to you. So maybe just to help you out in case it's really challenging for you to get straight knees here. Make sure that band is tight, tucked toes. Now you're going to straighten your legs and push the back of your knees into the band, and then slowly bend your knees and come down. Take your time with this because it might be quite intense, but hopefully that nerve glide we did is going to help you get straight legs. So breathe in. Stretch that band. Breathe out. Knees down. So you're using that band to give you feedback for pushing the back of your knees into that band. When your legs are straight, you should feel your quads switch on. None of this should feel easy. Stretch your legs. You don't need to stay there for very long. You will definitely feel some work in your arms. That's a bonus. You're welcome. Stretch and bend. Let's do 2 more. Inhale, stretch the back of your knees. Slowly bend your knees to come down, almost resisting the tension to come down. And one more time. You work with the tension and then resist the tension and pause for a second. Get rid of that band and just sit back. We're going to finally finish with a wall squat, which is so good for your knees and obviously strengthening your legs. So make sure you've got some space against a wall. Could be a cupboard, a door, anything that's not going to move. And then just walk your feet forwards. And you can always adjust when you get there. Lengthen up, tailbone against the wall, head if you've got it, head against the wall as well. And then you're going to come down to where you can hold. Get your thighs parallel to the ground if you can. Otherwise, maybe you're a little bit higher up, and that's okay. Your feet are straight, and you're going to push back into the wall. And for now, you're just going to do some deep breathing through your nose. This is just an isometric hold. When we go for round 2, we're going to add in heels, lifting and lowering. Okay? For now, keep lengthening. Push your tailbone into the wall. Lengthen up. See how long you can stay here for with me. And if it feels too much on your knees, please come up a bit. Either way, you'll feel some work, which is good. If you've got it, your thighs are parallel to the ground. You don't need to go lower than that. And your heels need to be right under your knees. So have a look at your alignment and make sure you are good. Let's take one more deep breath in and out. And then you're going to stand up for a second. Take a moment to recover. And we're going to do that one more time, and you're going to lift and lower your heels when you're in that wall squat. Okay, so when you're ready, reset. Parallel feet, slightly apart, and go down, and maybe you can challenge yourself a little bit more. Okay, cool. So when you're ready, tailbone stays against the wall, heels up, heels down. Keep looking straight ahead. And keep your body weight pressing back into the wall. Heels high, heels low. We're here just that little bit longer. Control your breathing. Well done. It's just going to be 30 seconds in total, so we're nearly there. And well done. Up you come. Okay, cool. So we've done some, even though it wasn't very long, some really great healthy motor control movement for your knees. I hope that helped. Please come back to it and try again. And if you want more details on the stuff and how I incorporate it into my classes in person and online, have a look in the description below. There's more details there, and I hope to see you in real life at some point. Thank you. See you soon.